Hey guys, we're back. Restore Thrive here in the Cummings Family Fitness Center indoor facility / playroom, and we're going to talk a little bit today about how to fix your squat. So we talked a little bit about our standard air squat and what that looks like to achieve a good air squat in terms of foot position, hip position, as we get down into that deep squat, making sure that that crease of the hip drops below the knees and our heels stay on the ground and our toes point straight ahead. Now, if you had some problems doing that, what we can do is a couple simple mobilizations to address the ankle, the hip, and the low back to try to restore that normal squat position. So here's what we're going to start with. We've got our monster band from Rogue here, and I've got this tied around the post. And what we can do first is we can work on this ankle position here. So with this band around the front of my ankle, just over the ankle on both sides, I want to step out until I get a little bit of stretch in the band, and then I can push my knee out over my foot and kind of explore these different ranges of motion here. So making sure that I'm trying to keep my arch up, my foot pointed straight ahead, and I'm working around to find the stiffest spot in my ankle and then just oscillating on and off of that for a good 2 minutes. So that's going to open up that end range, what we call dorsiflexion, that you need to really sit down in that deep squat and flex through the ankle. The other piece of this can be, if we're a little bit tight, through the Achilles here. So if I can't take this skin and pull this up, if this skin is tacked down, what I can do is I can grab the band, but I can put it around the back of my ankle here. And this band around the back of my ankle, what this creates is what we call a shearing effect. This is actually pulling some of those superficial layers of skin off. And again, I can bounce around a little bit, finding those sticky points and just working through those restrictions. Again, 2 minutes is our recommended dose here for this. Moving upstream, we're going to get a little heavier here. So this is the next resistance up with the Rogue band. And one of the things we know is if we're a little stiff through the back or the outside of our hip, that ability to create torque at the hip, where when we squat, we're able to drive our knees and our thighs out, can be compromised. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the band to create some space in the hip to get in that deep squat position here. And so we want our mobilizations, when we're mobilizing with the band or even without the band, to look like the shapes we're trying to get into. So what we're going to do here is get this band around my hip. It's pulling out and a little bit back. And we can do this anywhere from a straight pull out to the side to turn it so it's pulling straight back. It's up to you to figure out where you're most restricted. So I'm going to combine the two and create almost a 45-degree angle here. I'm going to take my hand on the same side here, post it down on my foot, and I'm going to work to get into that deep squat position here. You can see I'm dropping that hip below my knee. The band is creating some space by opening up that joint, and I'm going to oscillate in and out of that position. I can go forward, take a breath here, exhale, and go back into that end range where I'm catching the high hip and low hip, high hamstring, and just glide in and out of that position, staying active through our midsection for about 2 minutes. Once we're done with that, the last piece is dealing with your low back. So if you're a little bit stiff through your low back, your squat when you get down here may look like what we call the pooping dog. And if we're in this position, that's most of the time because you're a little bit stiff through this big muscle that we have on both sides of our back, both sides of our low back, called the QL. So we're going to take the Supernova here, we're going to put this in our back, and we're going to find a place to get our legs up. I'm just going to use the stairs here. I'm going to lay on my back, roll over to the side. Ball goes underneath my side here. I'm going to roll my legs back over, and then I'm going to start to add some weight in. I can start by just letting that leg on the same side drop over and then back. And if that feels like death, you're going to take a breath in, push the ball out, and then exhale. Let that ball sink in. Once that starts to get comfortable, We can just rock on and off. When we find that that spot feels a little bit better, we can reposition the ball and work through that same motion back and forth. When you roll over to that side, you're going to feel a little more tension through the ball, a little more weight into the ball. Take a breath, relax, exhale. Make sure you keep a little bit of tension through your abs the whole time. We don't want to be overarched as we're rolling side to side here. So, 2 minutes of mobility for the ankle, 2 minutes of mobility for both hips. And if you've got a little bit of stiffness in your low back, try the low back smash with the ball. These things should help open up more range of motion so we can get in that full deep squat position. Guys, if you like what we're doing here, please click the like button or subscribe below. Feel free to leave a comment, and we'll talk to you guys again soon.